Now, this should have been an episode of Sup with My Bro, but hey. I'm going to just give you an example of what that looks like. So anyhow, yes, so this is Boss One Digital Media, and this is also Boss One Digital Media, right? But I'll show better than I can tell. So I suppose this is a pirate episode of Sup with My Bro. Right, so just so we can contextualize, right? This is Boss One Digital Media, where I am an advocate and advertiser on behalf of the business owner that's a content creator. So just letting you know about that. So in other words, don't just advertise it. Have fun while you're advertising. Because the job is stressful enough. So you might as well create the fun. You might as well. So that's on behalf of the business owner and content creator. Alright? And now we're gonna switch over to an episode of Sup with My Bro, which is slightly unprofessional presentation with my brother rambling on, and my brother happens to be Bossman Teaching. So, do I stay in character or do I break the fourth wall? Over here, as Bossman Teaching, I am an advocate and advertiser on behalf of the teacher that also wants to be a content creator. Alright? Whether you're doing it currently and you want to have someone make your life a little bit easier so that you don't have to worry about when your content is being uploaded, where it's being uploaded. Some people are only focusing on one social media platform at a time. Hold on. So yes, some people focus on one social media platform at a time. But no. I will focus on 5. And that is why, whether or not you love it or even like it, you might as well be committed, so you may as well wife it. Right? WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Alright? So, compartmentalize. So once you see the black and the black, that is Boss One Teaching. Yeah? And when it's red and red, it goes back to my brother rambling on, Boss One Digital Media. So there you go. That's an episode of Sup with My Bro. I have fun making the switch. So I have a compromise, a little circumvention, right? Little ways to, Speaking of that, I saw a kick demonstrated by a karateka, and let me tell you, I don't think in the history of martial arts I've ever seen a kick like that in my life. It's the kind of kick where if you're going forward and you move your hand like this, they will find a way to make the kick appear as if it's going to stop here, and then it closes the distance and hits you right through your guard. I think it's called the Mawashigiri. I can't remember. I'm going to have to, because you see, it's Japanese, and I don't want to. I want to be lore accurate, or have the enunciation done correctly, right? So anyway, why did I bring that up? No. Why? Because every platform has their limit. So for example, the IG Reel is 3 minutes. The LinkedIn cutoff for a post is 2 minutes. So that means a Facebook Reel, which is 1.5 minutes, which is 90 seconds. So if you take a Facebook Reel and you drop it on LinkedIn, it's perfectly fine because it's greater than 0 but less than or equal to the 2 minute mark. So if you create 90-second videos, you can drop them on both LinkedIn and Facebook. And then of course, on Facebook you can upload them as stories, right? And then of course on LinkedIn you can just cut it into 2 minutes a piece, or just 1 minute 30 if that's what you want to do, right? And then of course the IG is 3 minutes, and I think TikTok is now 3 minutes as well. So how do we work around some of these rules? Say for instance, if you want to see a longer video on one of the platforms, what do you do? Because okay, for a while I wasn't very effective at where I would do my placements. I'll give you a perfect example. If I have videos that are on the computer, there's a desktop version of TikTok, and you can place the longer form videos by using that. But from your phone, it's going to be trimmed to 3 minutes exactly. But anyways, that's what they mean when you say hindsight is 2020, right? I made a lot of mistakes. So when I was uploading to YouTube, I would want to change the name of the file. Don't do it. Do not change the name of the file. Keep it the same. So if it's called 20250817_083805, it's telling you something. Okay? That is August 17, 2025, 8:38, with 17 seconds to spare. So 17 seconds into it being 8:38 in the morning, that's when you uploaded the video. That's what that file name tells you when you recorded it. And also, it's very helpful when you're searching for, if you're talking about redundancy, you can eliminate it by searching for the file name. And now I'm bored because I don't have the board. So very soon I'll be back in front of the board on, over here. Let me show you what I mean. All right. And then, all right, so there we go, right? Yeah, so see, we're here, now we're here, right? That's why, since we all know pilots make this arc, right? So be more than a teacher just making marks, since we all know pilots make this arc, and that's a shout out to Bossman Teaching, right? Pi stands for perspective is everything, see? Perspective is everything. Now honestly, I have 4 minutes to spare, so why not? Listen to that. Now this is why you record your videos with Zoom, because it has a little bit of noise cancellation. Yeah. The more you know, man, the more you know. Anyway, so I have two profiles. One with my real name, that is the opportunity seeker. This one right here is the opportunity creator, the content creator opportunist. I constantly create opportunities because I've realized from 8 months of unemployment what life looks like when you're dependent on a 9-to-5, when you're dependent on, and don't get me wrong, you need a 9-to-5 that will encourage you to never need another 9-to-5. And what I mean by that is this: you use it to pay your bills. Cool. That's not what you're going to build your life with. You're going to use your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to build the life that you want to build. Use your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you think you work hard Monday to Friday, work extra hard Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for your life. Do that for your life. Because they're not going to do it for you. You have to do that for you. Right? You know your interests, you know your passions, you know the things that are affecting you in your respective industry that you want to address that they're not addressing. You have to address that. The other, all right, I'll give you a perfect example. The other day I went back to one of my TikTok pages, Bossman Champloo, by example, talking about MMA. And I remember seeing a whole plethora of new comments. I think I took a screenshot because I couldn't believe it. I have never in the history of ever making a post, I don't recall ever having such a firestorm of engagement in that particular respect in terms of on a topic related to MMA. And you know me, I have an obsession with compartmentalizing. So Champloo is equal parts hip hop and equal parts martial arts. So be it the traditional and the mixed martial arts, be it the standard hip hop industry and the battle rap community, that's why it's called Champloo. It's a way of honoring the name Samurai Champloo, the name of the anime that no, you understand, right? But I remember, like sometimes you go back to your old content and you go, I was onto something here. So now you understand it, you know, think about it like battle rap. Battle rap is not about having bars. It's about having bars that people care about. Because you can say something that's incredibly creative, but if people don't care, it's not going to land. It is just not gonna land. It's just like when you're talking about how good an anime is. If you have 50 episodes and 44 of them were just heat, then your score was 44 out of 50. You do the maths, you multiply the top and the denominator by 2, it's a 88%. There you go. All I'm saying is sometimes we're doing things and we're underestimating our own impact. We're underestimating how meaningful because for me, I am about driving the conversation forward so that we can have an actual discussion about the things that I've discussed. So now we're gonna have to double up. So from here on, I'm moving towards the 18-minute mark, right? So let me honor that commitment. So remind me not to make it past the 18-minute mark. Okay? So hold me to that. But yes, I compartmentalize. I came up with Out of Many One Boss Man as a way of saying, let's be entertaining and hold each other accountable. Right? So every person is a different. So for example, if we're talking anime, teaching is Yusuke, right? Digital media, this is Kurama. Cinema, that is Kuwabara, right? And Champloo is Hiei. Now bring it back to TMNT, right? So let's do this again. Teaching is Leonardo. The irony, this should be red and blue, right? Anyway, digital media is Donatello. Cinema, Michelangelo, with Champloo being Raphael. So it's, you know, it's a little inside joke, you know, on the episodes of Out of Many One Boss Man. And I feel like what makes my page a little bit different from all the other creators that I'm inspired by, you know, the Caleb Cities, the just everybody, you know, RJ the Comic Guy, Jay Peerless, Honcho, Tracy Allen, RDC World, just name them, right? Yeah, what makes Out of Many One Boss Man different is that each character represents an individual page that you can actually visit. So for example, if you're seeing an episode about How Many One Bossman and Bossman Champloo is talking about MMA, you can literally go you can go to Bossman Champloo's respective pages on YFit. Right? And of course, you see the Admiral fit for cinema, right? So I can actually, put it on just for the fun of it. So he's allowing me to borrow the fit for this particular demonstration, right? So this is sort of what, obviously the red just kind of throws it off, right? Yeah, anyway, this is digital media wearing an Admiral fit, like what you would see cinema do, right? And a short sleeve version of All of Us would be Bossman Champloo. But of course, you'll see that in due course. You'll see that. Right, so I guess the moral of the story is this. You have to be comfortable with creating your own. Right? It's like just create your own. Create your own system. Right? Create your own schedule. Create your own means and mode of operation. Just create that. Because when you create your own system and you stick to your system, then it's not that nothing can go wrong, but at least you came up with something. So you don't change your file name and so on, because you'll know how to identify the redundancies in your files should you run into your duplicates, right? So you can always right click, copy and paste, do a search on your YouTube, do a search on your TikTok, see if it comes up with a match, then you've already uploaded that, right? So that's how you eliminate redundancies using the standard file name that you're seeing, right? You'll see me talk about that time and time and time again. I'll use the board to explain it a lot better, right? So that's one of my systems. Another one of my systems is, of course, the Out of Many One Bossman, right? I came up with a whole page that promotes 4 of the other pages, right? And it has its own identity, right? So everybody has to be dressed accordingly, right? So red and red, black and black, right? And then of course the Admiral fit, and in the short, the sleeveless, the sleeveless. Anyway, we're at the 18.